Hello? A package has arrived. Every now and then I'll get a donation that just blows my mind. And this is one of those donations. I'm almost not sure how to process this one. It's so generous. But what happened was on the last live stream that I did, which went really spectacularly well, and I'm really proud of how that turned out. Oh, the Sid. Somebody offered to send me a computer after inquiring whether I had one. And I said, no, I didn't have this particular computer. And yes, it would be lovely. Oh, they live in Canada, and it was, I'll tell you who it was. It's Rudy of Rudy's Retro Intel. Go and check out at Rudy's Retro Intel on YouTube, and you can see the computer that he has sent me is actually featured on his channel. Anyway, it's in this massive box, and it's come all the way from Canada, and it's time to open it up. So here we go. It's so big, I haven't got room for it. Pro level packaging. Oh my God, it's huge. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
That's what she said.
It's enormous. What am I going to do with this? Oh. It doesn't fit on the camera. I'd turn it that way. I can't zoom that out anymore. Oh, look at this thing. It's in amazing condition. Just one patch on it where there was a sticker. It's a little bit of grubbiness around the keyboard, and the whole case is going to need a little bit of a clean. But Rudy's, I asked me if I wanted it in the condition it was, and I said yes. So I've been watching quite a lot of Adrian's Digital Basement, where he did a massive unpack of loads of Apple IIe's, especially loads of Apple IIs. And so obviously this is an Apple II, and I know some of the differences. This is not the enhanced version. This, I don't think. Obviously, I grew up in the UK. I was born in the 60s. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. And the computers over here were not Apple. But we were aware of them. But I've never seen one in the... Actually, that's a lie. I saw one at the Cave. I think I saw one at the Cave when I visited recently at RMC Neil's Cave. And... I will be honest, I didn't pay it much attention. And I'm not sure why. It was a very busy day. And one of the things that I was going to do because I'm going back again soon, is make sure that I look around some of the machines that I'm not so familiar with, and this being one of them. Yeah, I was aware of Apple's computers back in the 80s, but I'd never seen one. Not in the flesh. They just weren't a thing in my area of the UK, and I don't even know anyone that had one or had used one. It was just not a thing. Schools had BBC Micros. In fact, my school had Dragon 32s. Apples were just not in my orbit at all. But since I've come to be more of a collector, no, I'm not a collector, I'm just a tinkerer. The Apple II has been one of my, very close to the top of my list of machines that I desire and want. I shouldn't really rustle that while I'm talking. And the opportunity to own one was just too much for me to resist, despite my lack of storage space. So let's have a look, see what else he's sent in here. Because I know this isn't the end of the goodies. Actually, shall we move the computer out? Actually, let's have a look at the computer first. I really don't know anything about these. I know that Rudy changed this one. I think this is a memory management unit. In the video where he repaired this, that was the fault in this computer. and I know that the power supply is 110 volts, but there's a reasonably simple one wire fix to make that a 220 volt power supply. That's not the end of my problems though, because the Apple II NTSC version, there were PAL version ones. There were some that were sold in Europe. The Apple II NTSC version composite output is not very standard, and I'm not sure if I can display that or if I'll be able to display that. So one of the things that I have got planned for this in the future, in future content, is after the power supply conversion, is to build a RGB to HDMI board specifically for this. I've got all the parts for that in the post, and when they get here, it will move closer to the top of my to-do list. Beast of a machine! I can't get over how big it is. There's so much room inside, and the best thing about this, so the BBC Micro had, right. So the BBC Micro is the computer that I consider to be the equivalent UK version of what Apple were trying to do, or what Apple did. So Acorn created the BBC Micro a long time after the Apple IIs were made. I think were inspired by the Apple II. It feels to me. That's only my opinion. The BBC Micro underneath it has lots of ports. It has its valve port and user ports and printer ports and disk ports and all sorts of things for expandability. But and inside it has space for ROMs, so you can put extra ROMs inside to have word processors and things built into it. And the Apple II had its expandability inside, which was Woz's favourite thing, was the expandability, and I think the bone of contention between him and Jobs, as far as I understand it. I'm not an expert on the Apple line of computers or the story, so it's something that I'm going to enjoy learning about and being educated by people in comments about. The expandability is one of the joys of this computer. Oh, it is a glorious thing. Everything is labelled. MMU, yeah. 6502 processor. So we've got a bank of memory down here. A CD-ROM, I don't think so. An EF-ROM and a keyboard ROM. So I've got to learn, you can only use certain, I think it's the highest one is the one that the machine boots off. There's all sorts of things I need to learn. This is fantastic. So one thing Rudy has done is change the reefer cap reefer caps inside the power supply, so I won't have to worry about that. But I think because I'm going to be putting 220 volts through this, I think I'm going to recap the whole thing anyway. So there might be some people that say that that's not necessary. I don't want this to go wrong, because getting spares for this will be quite expensive and time consuming. I know he said he sent some cards. Oh, more sellotape and bubble wrap. Here we go. Memory expansion. Lovely. It's the longest anti-static bag I've ever seen in my life. What the hell came in this? Come on. Ah. Disk interface card. Very useful. What dates have we got on these chips? I didn't look in the computer. Looks like 83. So pretty much the same year as I owned a ZX Spectrum. I got my ZX Spectrum, my first ZX Spectrum, in 1982 at Christmas. So I only owned it for a week in 1982 and most of its life in 1983, so the same year that this was made. I do not know what this is. There's lots of logic on there. Oh, it's a Z80. Oh, I've got to say Z80. This is an American machine. It's a Z80 processor. So this must be so that it can run CPM? Is that right?
You are correct, sir.
That's the 3 expansion cards. What's in here? This is quite special. I know what this is. So one of the things that's a problem for me with any old computer is running original software on it. It's not such a problem with the tape-driven machines, and the Apple, I'm pretty sure, can be... has it got a tape port on it? It does. It has in and out tape ports, just like a ZX Spectrum. So yeah, but one of the problems is loading software, and I'm not gonna, in all likelihood, be able to get access to a disk drive, an Apple compatible disk drive, and even if I did, I'm unlikely to be able to source readily any software on discs, on 5 1/4 inch discs. Rudy really very kindly and generously also sent this over. Rudy's Retro Intel. He's a lovely guy. Don't know what that is, but this is the wDrive. Got some stickers. Oh, these are going up everywhere. I tell you what I'll do, Rudy. I'm going to the cave in a short while. I'm going to sneak one of these up somewhere in the cave, in Neil's cave. He'll never know. I'm going to try and put it somewhere where it'll be in a set. He won't watch this. He'll never know. He's far too important to be watching the likes of me on my second channel. All right, so we've got he's left a micro SD card in it with software. Excellent. That's popped out. Marvellous. So I can't really do anything with that yet until I get the machine up and running, but that's going to allow me to run there's all sorts of software on there, and to run all the Apple software I could ever want. What's in here? What is that? A soft SP card. There's an EEPROM on there. What's that? Oh, I don't know what that is. Probably a GAL or something. I'm going to have to look up what that is. A soft SP card. I wonder if it's got something to do with this. Maybe that's what this needs to boot. So, thank you, Rudy. That is beyond generous. I don't know what to say, but except for thank you very much. I guarantee it's gone to a good home. I'll never sell it. I will treasure it forever, and I will also I will use it and enjoy it, and I'll share it as well. I think that's one of the most important things that we can do in our hobby is to share the joy that we find in these old machines. Thank you so much. Cool. Oh, I got an Apple II. I can't believe it.